either knock me out completely,
Yeah.
or just
Don't just make it a slog, a pointless slog.
life is already a pointless
It is,
slog.
yeah.
Don't make me have to cough through it.
Did you get ill when you were in America?
I got. I was all right until I got to LA. So when I was
I remember you talking about this, yeah.
Wilmington, and then Wisconsin, I was all right. Then I landed in LA, and I just felt really rough. And I think it was just like in the span of, what was it? I flew on a Saturday or something, maybe, or I flew on a Friday. From Friday through to Monday, I had been on like 5 flights.
Yeah.
And
a lot of recycled air.
A lot of recycled air.
Yeah.
It was also, what was it? Like, I don't think I'd had a meal, if that made sense. I'd just smoked cigarettes and just had sort of like canapes, because it was all film things. And then... proper stress diet. Then when I got to LA, like, my buddy Vince was just sort of said, like, what's close? And I was like, there's a fucking Denny's across the road. And he was like, go get a chicken fried steak, some fucking broccoli, and just whatever. He goes, eat a full meal, and just see how you feel. So I did that, chained 2 cigarettes, and I was like, I'm better. And then I was all right for about 2-3 days. And then I just completely, like, I had about another 2-3 days where it was definitely 2 days where I was kind of just locked in my room because I couldn't move. I was just so, like, fluey.
Yeah.
And luckily that passed quite quickly. But
you were there a year ago, weren't you? You were out there.
Yeah.
Now. Is that right?
Back.
You were back. When did you come back? When did you fly back?
I think I flew back on the 1st or 2nd of November. So I think it was the 4th of October to the 2nd of November.
Where the fuck is that year gone?
Don't. I got so bummed out with myself because I was gonna leave myself a note, a video note, 1st of January, saying, "Hey Ted, just in case you felt like, you know, the decision to leave your job and make films was a bad one, remember this year. This year we've done all this. This year we've done all that." And in the end, I thought, like, no, it's a bit wanky. I'm not going to do that. And I'm really pleased I didn't, because I think if I had to go back at the end of this year and rewatch last year, you just toured the world with your film. All right, man? Don't worry about it. And then this year, it's like, what did you do? It's like, this year you bought a Roomba. You know, it's just like, oh, God. So, yeah, I do look at my year. I see my year as a bit of a failure. And it's a bit annoying because it's a failure in one sense that I haven't created another film.
Okay.
But that's it. That's the only way I've failed this year.
Right.
And not through a lack of trying. I've pushed out 2 feature scripts, and they both got rejected by multiple people. I don't think that's a comment on the script. I think that's more a comment on the cost of the script.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things. But when I look at it like that, I do think like, oh, you've not had it as a successful year as last year. And it's like,
well, I mean, obviously being in America, well, no, first and foremost, having made the fucking film last year was a huge achievement. Dragging it around America, getting it recognised, getting it winning awards globally, that's something. Like, that's
my
amazing.
award
That's
shelf
the
up
amazing
there.
thing. So obviously your thoughts are going to be for the next year, get film number 2, get that in the can. You know, almost a repeat of the same sort of like experience. Okay, so that didn't happen this year, but a year ago you didn't have an idea for a podcast under your belt that was solid.
Trutus.
But now you've done it and you've got a rack of like, you know, of guests all lined up. That's already gone out there and you know, guests lined up, very prestigious interviews and everything. So
you're only saying that because you're one of them.
Exactly. Well, I'm, the absolute
the prestigious
one. Yeah, top of the ladder. So there is that. You didn't see that coming, did you?
No, that is true, and it was always something that I always loved the idea of doing a podcast. I bought that mic that's by the table. I bought that I think about 3 years ago with the hope to do something podcasty with it.
Yeah.
But every time I tried to get like an ideas thing going, to be honest, I tried to get an ideas thing going with like people. So it was always the idea of doing it with someone else. And everyone was up for it, but never, like, I don't want to, be a cunt about it to anyone, but it always felt a bit like, I'd be like, oh, do you want to do this? They're like, yeah, I want to do this. And I'm like, well, should we do it tomorrow? Nah, I can't really do it tomorrow. And I was like, well, when can you do it? Nah, I'll let you know. And it's like, oh.
I know that guy.
Yeah. I mean, we've all known and been that guy. So it just gets a bit like, okay, like, all right, that...
It's disheartening.
It's disheartening.
Yeah.
And you just think, okay, it's not going to happen. And then when I came up with this idea, I did just think, I'm just going to interview people that I know who love film.
You yourself going to do it. You're going to produce it. Yeah. Well, do you know what? At the moment, that's working for you, isn't it? So that's
it seems to work very well. That it is just like, well, I'm the only person that I have to rely on, and other than 2 hours with another person, like the hardest part of all of this is finding someone who can give me 2 hours. And then as soon as and everyone's got 2 hours somewhere, whether it's in 2-3 weeks time or a month's time, or like, oh, I can, but could you not release it for another 3 months because I got something coming out? And it's like, yeah, sure, whatever. So it's that, finding those people and those times are the hardest part, but they're actually not that, that's not that hard when it comes to it. And then just being able to, what I try and do is record it and then like the next day edit it.
Yeah.
So that within a 3-day cycle, it goes from nothing, recorded, edited, ready to be posted.
Yeah.
And it's just like, great, that's done. And it's good.
So you mentioned then about like, you got some people that obviously will have like a kind of like a, not opportunistic, but they could see their interview as being part of their promotional package that's forthcoming. Have you had a mixture of a mixture of people that will obviously want to treat it like that, and then others that are just like myself that just wants a natter with his mate for 2 hours?
Yeah. So originally we were I was only going to do fortnightly episodes, but by circumstance of the first 4 or 5 people I interviewed, they all kind of said like, oh, I've got something coming out actually next week or the week after or in a couple of weeks time. Could you get it out before then? Could you get it out before here? And it was like, yeah, I think I can. I'll just release an additional episode between the weeks so that I can get you between there and you between there. And then sort of being like, oh, this person's not promoting anything, so I'm going to push their episode back a week.
Yeah.
It's evergreen in its conversation because there's no time stamp on it. Being able to then just pick and choose that, I do feel like you can actually get a nice selection of people who are using it as a promotional tool, and then people who are using it as just like nice chat. Because sometimes I feel, I don't know, when you listen to podcasts and people are there constantly plugging, it feels a little bit like, oh, do you not want to be here?
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's nice when it's just two people talking bollocks with one another, and especially when they know each other. That's always nice.
I've noticed recently that Stuart Lee seems to have finally properly embraced the world of like podcasts. I don't know about social media. I think he's still quite anti that, which is fine. But
smart move.
But like I've listened to at least 3 podcasts of him over the last 6 months where he's just talked about being his age and talked about the stresses of being his age, and it's almost like he's really let his hair down. But because of it, you do hear about things that it doesn't sound like he's putting on a show, like, and he's talked about quite in great detail about the fact he was adopted and stuff like that and everything. I'm like, I've been a Stuart Lee fan for over 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, nearly 30 years actually, because of Fist of Fun and all that. I never knew that about him. And that's interesting. Or he's appearing on Armando Iannucci's Strong Message Here. He's just delivering some Stuart Lee quips, but like completely in the context of the programme. It's not just, here's a bit from my new show, that's nice. Also,
when you're saying like, you've been a fan for 30 years and you didn't know that about him.
Yeah.
That's actually, when I first thought about doing this, I thought like, I'll talk to my mates because I know everything about my mates from the moment we met.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about them before then. I know a bit. So when I get to talk to friends and then they tell me sort of like, oh, I loved this film. And it's like, why the hell did you love that film? And it's like, oh, because of this, like my uncle showed it to me. And you're like, oh,
personal angle.
I've never heard you speak of your uncle. Well, I love my uncle. And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
And then it's, I don't know, there's just something about finding out about your friends, something that it does nothing, it doesn't change your relationship in any way. It's just another piece of like, oh, and now I know a bit more about you. That's nice.
Yeah.
Like, and that's all I want. I just want to know more about my mates.
Yeah.
And I think that's another
That's
reason
nice.
for the film. It is just there's always a lovely personal relationship with film.
Yeah.
And especially when we're kids, because when we're younger, we didn't choose the film we wanted to go to the cinema first to see. We were just taken.
Yeah.
And then whenever we went to the cinema as kids in general, you're just taken. You're taken to the pictures. What's on? Well, we'll watch that. And then you start to build up your own relationship with the people that took you to the cinema. And then it all just turns into this sort of like, oh, so it was your uncle that took you. With me, it was mum and dad, separately or together. Like, we always would just go. So when friends are like, oh, no, it was uncle or big brother, or like, it was the only time me and my dad would ever sit together to watch something, because we wouldn't do it at home, but we would if we went to the cinema. And you're just like, oh, that's so lovely. That's so lovely that that's the relationship that you formed from it. So it's nice.
That is nice. You just reminded me of something that I wish I'd brought up in mine about that. Can I tell you this?
I mean, for the listener, we're recording this before Rich's episode has gone out, so I could just cut it in.
Oh yeah.
I'm not
sure actually. When I was about 18, so at that time I was like in a hardcore band Restraint, taking it very seriously. I didn't really do much with my family at all.
No.
But I remember and this would have been the very, very last time that we as a family of four went to the cinema. We went, no, I'd have been a bit old, maybe 19 actually, maybe 20, so my sister would have been about 18. We went and watched Alien Resurrection as a family.
That's
because it was weird, it was and as a result, I've got very fond memories of that film, and I do like it. I like it.
Jean-Pierre Jeunet's finest film. Mate.
Yeah, I like it more than Alien 3.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I think Alien 3.
Interesting.
I've listened to William Gibson's Alien 3 and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like that's obviously amazing, but I do think as the final thing, Alien 3 is obviously. I mean, it's an extremely interesting.
Have you seen the directors?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
You've recommended this to me.
That's
fine. I need to watch it. Yeah, but Alien Resurrection to me has a place in my heart, but a completely out of my control.
Yes.
Like you said, as a young kid, you can't help it. I couldn't help that being, to me, but it did mean a lot. And we all.
It was also the first Alien I imagine you saw at the cinema.
Oh, 100%.
So,
yeah. I'd seen on a similar scale of sci-fi Hollywood blockbusterness. I saw the Abyss around that time. That would come out around then, or maybe a few years earlier.
The Abyss.
Yeah.
The Abyss came out in the 80s.
Did it?
Yeah.
Shit off. Did it really?
I've got the video
right
here.
When did it come out? The 80s? Are you kidding?
No.
Still a long time before. Was it 1988 then? Resurrection, is that right?
1998, yeah.
Jesus Christ, yeah, it's frightening.
I think it was 1998.
So yeah, I didn't see Aliens.
I think Resurrection is the only one I don't have.
Right. Okay.
Alien Resurrection is a good one. In the same way that Terminator 3 was the first Terminator that came out after I was aware of Terminator.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
And did you see it at the cinema?
I really wanted to, but I missed it. But I got really excited for it.
Yes.
Disappointed instantly. Alien Resurrection was the first Alien film that came out that I was aware of Alien. I knew of Alien 3. I remember seeing the trailer, I think, outside an old cinema when I was a kid.
I don't know why I didn't see that at the cinema. I had an Alien 3 magazine that came out.
That
was a Starburst special edition or something.
That's what I was getting at with Alien Resurrection, is that we had a load of Alien Resurrection mags.
Yeah.
And I remember there being a bit where Ripley's trying to pull out Ron Perlman's tongue, but obviously I didn't know what that scene was at that point.
Yeah. No context.
No context.
Yeah,
I thought she was trying to pull the alien out through his throat.
Right. Okay.
And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then when it came out, I think we rented it, and then
yeah.
I very much enjoyed it. I also like the idea of was it the cube that you fire a laser on and it turns into a glass of whiskey.
Oh yeah,
that the captain
bloody
drinks.
hell! Yeah. You know, I'm gonna go back and watch that at some point.
Oh yeah, I will rewatch it. Let's think. I will always those first 4.
So
I'll
that's
happily rewatch.
yeah,
those
that's
first
the
4.
last Alien film I would happily watch, because anything
Yes.
after that I'm just not fussed about.
I couldn't give a shit
Have you watched
about
Alien
others.
Earth yet? Have you watched it?
Yeah,
It's the same guy that did
Fargo. Noah
yeah,
Hawley. Yeah.
yeah. I can, which makes me want to watch it, because I'm just
Well,
so
you've not
impressed
watched Alien Earth yet?
No,
Oh,
no.
don't.
Okay. Is it just a big disappointment?
It is.
Yeah.
It's a big disappointment.
Why? Why do they keep fucking it up so bad?
Because,
Ted.
well, if you're
Bottom of
asking me,
Yeah.
because Ridley Scott originally made it as a horror film.
Yeah.
James Cameron then turned it into an action film.
Yeah.
And then Colin, I believe, talks about it in his episode, that by turning it into an action film was the worst thing you could do with Alien films.
Poisoned it.
And every single Alien film since then has had to be, in some vein, an action film
Yeah.
when it works best as a horror film. And I think Alien and Alien 3 are horror films. Alien 3 not as much, but it still is a horror feel to it. And Resurrection, to a degree, has elements of sort of... I mean, it is a Jean-Pierre Jeunet film, so it's got that weird delicatessen, City of Lost Children, like, oh, what's going on? This all just feels very slimy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you don't ever feel...
It's got a very Baroque, sort of like very, very... like it's very designed, isn't it?
It's very designed.
Yeah, yeah.
And it just feels very, like... it feels grim.
Yeah.
It has, obviously, action elements.
In an original way.
In an original way.
Yeah.
And everything that they've tried to do since then with Prometheus, Covenant, Romulus, all that, its focus has been... I mean, Romulus not as much, but I didn't enjoy it. Its focus has been on action. And I think that they're trying to appeal to the largest audience of Alien, which is Aliens. Everyone loves Aliens. I don't.
No,
I love Alien and Alien 3. And if you want to give me more of that, I'm in.
Yeah.
If you want to give me more Aliens, I don't need it.
Yeah.
Aliens is everything I need in that regard.
Yeah, and it's good as
It's
a
excellent.
sort of like hermetically sealed.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I agree. It is
And
good, yeah.
it's I think it's the same if you're a Terminator or a Terminator 2 man.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Because I'm a Terminator 1 man.
I think I'd be the same.
It's a more interesting film. But
Although Terminator is fucking good.
But
Yeah.
that's the same thing with Aliens.
It is.
Alien is a sick film.
Yeah.
Aliens is a sick film. Like I've said it. Those first 3 are excellent standalone Alien films that happen to be in the same universe. If you told me that each one of them was just like a fucking, what's the word when they use like an anthology almost? It's just like, here is Sigourney Weaver dealing with an alien if she was on a mining ship.
Right.
Now here is the same cast dealing with it with machine guns.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I really like the first way they did that.
Yeah.
So yeah. Welcome to Your Life in Film. I'm your host, Ted Bennett. Well, actually, I'm not your host today. Your host this week is Rich Fox. Go back and listen to his episode if you haven't, you fuckers. For this special Christmas episode, Rich is interviewing me for my answers. I know you've all been yelling at your podcast streaming services, being like, but Ted, what film did you see at the cinema? I must know! You're always asking other fuckers. What about you? So, yeah, Rich is going to ask me. I asked Rich because he was free.
Yeah.
Actually, I like how that is true. But the first time we booked it, I stood him up, and then the second time we booked it, he stood me up. So it felt like a very fair, fitting thing.
Yeah.
No, I asked Rich because Rich and I are a very close friendship, and we've known each other for nearly 20 years. And when it came to someone asking me the questions, I couldn't think of anyone else who would be a better choice for it. So over to you.
Your Christmas present to me this year is allowing me to do this.
You're getting to sit in my office chair.
Yeah, which I've got to say is extremely comfortable.
But
it's so comfortable. I don't know how to sit in it. It's like
I feel like it. Well, the arms are broken.
oh right,
They shouldn't be that low.
Ah right. What have you been doing to them? Why are they broken?
Oh, I lift myself up and then they
Right.
broke because
right. Oh shit.
I'm fat. Do you find yourself sliding forward though?
No.
Oh, I do.
Is that to do with like it's because of those plastic trousers you wear?
I won't take them off though.
No. I know. Well, no one wants to smell it if you did. So yeah, it's fine.
Well, if I took them off now, it'd be the end of the world.
It would.
And I feel fine. No, it's a good chair. That Kirsty.
Yeah, I like it.
It used to be Kirsty's, and then she said, "I'm going to get a better one. Do you want this old one?" And I was like, well, "Yeah, whatever."
Yeah.
And now I've tasted the good life. Tasted the good life, and I can't go back to it.
Well, I think I'm going to enjoy sitting here for the next 1 hour and 54 minutes. Definitely.
When I upgrade, you can have it.
Well, thank you. Yeah. But you say the arms don't work, so
Well,
the thing is, I like it as it is. So I don't know what I'm missing. Doesn't matter. I'll just
no, I
accept
actually
it. I'll
think
just take it.
it's probably better
Yeah.
that the arms don't work, because if they did, I'd always be using them.
Right.
Whereas as they don't, I have to be aware of what my arms are doing.
Yeah, and you have to sit probably a bit more straight as well, kind of thing. Well, you definitely have to do that if you keep slipping. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Well, I'll leave it over to you. You may ask
Right.
the questions.
I will. This is exciting. And you must have thought in your head the answers to these for a long time now, many, many weeks.
No.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, right.
So whenever I thought of like these questions, I just thought they were questions that would be good to ask.
Yeah.
And then there's questions that I know the answer. I know what the first film I saw at the cinema is. I just know that one. But when it came to like what was the films I watched over and over again as a kid and what films hold a special place in my heart, I was like, I ain't got a fucking clue. What are you on about?
Well,
Like-
let's take a deep dive and get into the cinematic psyche of Edward Oscar Elizabeth Bennett. Ted, what was the first film you saw at the cinema?
Pass.
Question 2.
It was Hook.
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 My goodness.
1990.
Robin Williams, Dustin Hoffman.
Thank you very much.
That's
Shmee's me.
So would you have been in London?
Yeah.
For this? Come on then. Tell us.
So, my family always told me this story. I don't know whether it's one of those memories that I remember because I was told it, but I do have a distinct memory of this happening. And I don't think I've ever told my parents this part. So the whole thing about going to see Hook was that I was insistent that I held the popcorn. And I was a diddyman. I would have been 3 when that film came out.
Yeah.
Sweet. They were like, well, okay, you can hold the popcorn. And I was like, I'm holding the popcorn. And then I fell asleep instantly and dropped the popcorn all over the floor.
Yeah.
And they always say that about, like, Hook was the first film you saw and you dropped all the popcorn and whatever. I remember being sat to the right of my dad, not that many rows. We may have been 5 or 6 rows from the front, right? And I remember being sat, looking over the seats and dropping the popcorn. Wide awake.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether it's one of those, like, I dropped it, then was like,
Yeah.
pretend to be asleep so you don't get told off. But Hook. And I love Hook. Everyone always rags on Hook. And I don't think it's a bad film.
Do you remember certain scenes, like on the big screen?
Recollection
of that?
I remember...
You're quite young. That's, it's like must be like a pretty...
Yeah.
A core memory.
The first time seeing the alligator with the clock in its mouth.
Right.
Like that, I remember being very... Ooh. And I also remember the beginning with Maggie Smith, where she plays Old Wendy. Finding that... I found that really unsettling. Especially when they find the hook in the table and, like, whatever. So, yeah, I do remember all of those bits. We also had it on video as a kid. So I've definitely rewatched it a lot. So there's parts that I do think, like, no, you remember that from watching the video.
Yeah.
But in regards...
So was Louis with you? Your brother Louis?
I imagine Louis was with us, because if I remember sitting next to Dad on his right, I imagine Louis was on the left, so that he was between us, if you know what I mean. So he could...
Yeah. Mediate.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
What cinema would it have been then?
It would have been the Odeon at Turnpike Lane.
Was that like a multiplex then, or...?
I don't know if it was a multiplex. It definitely had a
Like
couple
old
of screens,
school
I
sort
think.
Yeah.
I saw Power Rangers the movie there,
Mm.
and I remember it being quite a large sweeping corridor into the screen. But obviously, as a Diddyman,
Yeah.
I don't think I can say Diddyman. As a little child, it all seemed quite large.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think Ken Dodd's estate will actually sue you if you say Diddyman one more time. Actually, so just don't.
Wait, sorry. Is that what Dodd would do?
Something like that. Yeah.
So yes, it was Hook.
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed it, and I even got to tell
Your class?
J.V. Hart, the writer.
No way.
Yeah.
Is this because of your parents and the kind of like
No.
circles they should?
No. I met him in Austin last year.
Oh right.
And he follows me on Instagram, oddly.
That's amazing. What's he up to? Is he still writing?
He still writes, but
that's
he does
incredible.
writing courses. He wrote Bram Stoker's Dracula.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
So that was around the same time, like 2 years after or something.
Man had a good run.
So like, did he write that? Was it a completely original script? Obviously, as a sequel to Peter Pan, like, or was it based on?
I imagine it was. I didn't ask him that bit. I just sort of was like,
"That's lovely."
Everyone says this, and I actually really liked it.
Yeah.
It was really odd. I thought about watching Bram Stoker's Dracula a couple of months ago. I can't remember when it was, and I was thinking, oh, should I put it on? And then he messaged me on Instagram, and I was like, I can't. That feels really weird.
That's awesome.
So yeah. But he's a lovely man.
Yeah. So that was obviously the first film you saw at the cinema.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it would have kick-started your interest in cinema? Was cinema and watching films, that was it, staple of the Bennett household after that?
That was the first film I saw at the cinema, but the film that kicked off films and that was Jurassic Park, which I was deemed too young to go see when that came out.
By your folks?
By Mum and Dad. Mum and Dad said, I think it might be a bit much for you boys.
Okay.
And they went to go see it.
Yeah.
And they said, when the T-Rex roars, like, it was so loud, I don't think you boys would have been able to handle it.
Right.
Which, telling me my business.
Yeah.
You know? But it's fair. But Jurassic Park was the first film where I was aware of a director.
Okay.
And what a director did. And I thought, I want to do that. I want to make the films, and the director's the one who makes it. So, yeah. So, although Hook was the first film I saw at the cinema, it was still a Spielberg film that made me go, Spielberg seems to be on something good. I'll have some of that.
So, how old have you been, like, when you would have seen Jaws, or is that something you want to bring up? Is that more suitable to bring up? Later.
It was later, but it was probably... we were still youngish. I think I might have been sub 10. And I remember telling my dad that, like, asking what Jaws was, and him being like, "Oh, it's a really good Spielberg film," which I was like, "Oh, Spielberg." And then, then he told me an anecdote of when he saw it at the cinema when it came out, when the head pops out at the bottom, everyone in the screen like screamed and then all laughed. Their shit. Yeah. And I was like, "Ooh!" And then so I watched that about 10. But I think, as it stands, I've only seen I've only not seen a handful of his films. There's only like 2 or 3 I haven't seen, but everything else I've watched.
Yeah.
Religiously.
I mean, you've always been like a big fan. I know. That's cool. So, like, well, I mean, you may have answered this already, but like, what film did you watch over and over again then as a kid? So
this one is actually it's quite a long list.
Okay.
So we had a lot of videos growing up. And, we were always going to Blockbuster or the local video shop and walking around and seeing what's what. But Mary Poppins, watched that a lot as a kid.
Oh, yeah, lovely. Yeah.
I think Little Mermaid I watched a lot as a kid. Or it was one of those ones that my cousins had, and I really liked watching it when we went there because we weren't really a Disney household. But Little Mermaid was one I really liked. Addams Family Values.
Second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Addams Family Values is the same reason why I always thought I liked Temple of Doom over the other Indiana Joneses. And I always thought, well, I was correct in thinking this one. I always thought that, Addams Family is better than the second, but only because I didn't have it. So I never had Temple of Doom growing up. So in my head, I thought, well, that's got to be the best one. Because I've seen Raiders and I've seen Last Crusade. Temple of Doom must be the best.
Yeah. It's got to be the Holy Grail.
It's got to be the Holy Grail, thank you.
Yeah.
And it's same with Addams Family Values. It was that, like, we grew up watching that one, that because I hadn't seen the first one, I was like, God, I bet that's good, though. If this is good, I bet that's really good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Addams Family Values and Mary Poppins. But then Jurassic Park, when I finally got that on video, that got watched a lot as a kid.
So you'd have been how old by that night? 9, 10 or something?
No, it came out,
Probably
93?
Yeah.
So I was 5 when it came out in the cinema. So let's say 6 by the time it came out on video.
Yeah.
Back to the Future, Bill and Ted. Obviously Bill and Ted because I was named Ted.
After Ted in the film?
Edward Theodore Logan Bennett. No, but when you're named Ted, and there's a couple of famous films called Bill and Ted, everyone assumes you love it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which isn't wrong. Like, I remember I could do all the dialogue of Bogus Journey.
Yeah.
And I would watch Bogus Journey and do it all. And my parents found it very funny when what's his name from Faith No More picks up. Where Delomelus has a book, and the guitarist, I think, of Jim Martin. He picks it up, looks at the back of the book and goes, "What a shithead." And I would repeat that line, and everyone was like, "Ah, ha, ha, ha." Yeah. Bill and Ted was something that we watched a lot as a kid.
When you say, can I just ask, you said Back to the Future. Are you talking the Back to the Future, the first film, or the trilogy? Were you excited about multiple films of,
we
franchises?
had 3 recorded off the telly, and I think we had 1 recorded off the telly. And again, we didn't have 2 for a long time. So I thought 2 was the best.
Yeah.
So 2 now is the one I'll always be like, oh, we'll watch 2.
Yeah.
When actually it's like, 3 is probably the best.
It's because it will always be behind the others.
Exactly.
Like, even if you watch it more,
God,
it's too late.
I missed it.
It's it.
I've got to watch it again. So those were definitely like the films that I watched a lot of.
Yeah.
There was a second wave of that as well. Like when I got a bit older, but not old enough to watch these films, my mum and I went to like HMV in centre of London once, and my mum bought some videos, and she said I could have any video I wanted, and I chose Ace Ventura. It was a 12,
right.
and I wasn't 12. So mum was like, "Don't tell anyone you've got this because you shouldn't have it. It's a bit old for you." And I was like, "Okay." And then she bought Blues Brothers.
Right.
And then we watched those 2. So then I watched Blues Brothers a lot as a kid.
I mean, that's quite grown up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, well, my parents deemed it okay because...
I mean, it's not... Yeah.
There's not really anything that's sort of... some colourful language.
Yeah.
But then again, you're going to... In fact, me and Dad said it the other day about a doctor. You're going to look pretty funny eating corn on the cob with no fucking teeth. Which we think is one of the best lines in cinema.
Yeah.
So, Blues Brothers was one that we watched a lot. And that was also quite cool because Dad would be like, these people aren't made up. They're actually musicians.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, well, tell me more. And then getting into sort of blues and guitar, mainly guitar music, I found very interesting.
So you got interested in music through film first, potentially?
So I remember as a kid, like, you either liked Michael Jackson or Oasis. That was it. You know what I mean? It was just like, what do you like listening to? And it was like, well, I like Oasis, or I like Michael Jackson. And I just remember everyone just being into that. And then watching Blues Brothers and being like, oh, well, these songs are cool. What are these songs? And then Mum and Dad used to have this wicker basket full of cassettes. And the only cassette player we had was in... it was when we moved up to Shrewsbury. The people that used to have our house had a hot tub.
Right.
And they had a PA system, which you could then load with CDs and cassettes,
whatever.
God. But that was in like another room.
Right.
So I found this wicker basket full of cassettes. And the cover that was most intriguing to me was Rubber Soul by the Beatles.
Yeah.
So then I would have to listen to it on this like stack that was in the corner in the ceiling on a bracket, and then have to go sit in what was then converted into the bathroom to listen to Rubber Soul. But then through that I then loved the Beatles and got into the Beatles that way. So film and music did have a connection, but not an apples to apples one.
No.
It was like, here's the Blues Brothers. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. This is the kind of music Mum and Dad are into. Okay. Well, they got a box of cassettes over there.
Yeah.
I'll go take a look. And then, you know, if you look at those boxes, like some of them were, if you look at some of the cassettes now, you'd be like, oh shit, you've got that. That's a good album. But as a kid, the album covers just weren't popping like the Rubber Soul album.
I remember, funny enough, talking about music and films, I remember buying certain soundtracks as a kid and liking them. Like I had Ray Parker Jr.'s Ghostbusters theme, but then I bought the Ghostbusters album soundtrack, which has got some really good, sort of like very 80s music, but like. But really
also
enjoyable.
bear in mind who's in that. Dan Aykroyd, who's massively into blues.
Well, yeah,
so,
that's true.
You know,
yeah, of course, yeah. And I remember like buying the T2 soundtrack as well, enjoying that, which was that Hans Zimmer?
I think so.
Whoever did it was just, obviously you got the theme tune, which is iconic, but then the rest of it was just so. I remember like having that and listening to it on cassette.
No, it wouldn't be Hans.
No, I can't remember who it was.
James Newton Howard?
Maybe.
Brad Fiedel.
Oh,
he did all of Cameron's stuff, so.
They'd have been, you know, your parents were responsible enough to kind of make sure you were ready for certain films that were going to be, you know, make sure you're old enough to get it and not be too scared, like Jaws or whatever. So what would you have been your first 18/X-rated film?
So your parents can only be as vigilant and good as possible, but when you've got a neighbour who is raised by a single dad who doesn't really care, you go down the road and you watch a couple of yourself and a couple of 18-rated films. So there was
a kid down the road.
Yeah, a lad called Gregory.
Yeah, your age then, was he?
Yeah, about my age.
Okay.
He lived about 2 or 3 doors down from us, and his dad. He lived with his dad, I think, most days, well, most weeks, and it was just him and his dad. And in the front room, his dad had all the videotapes just lined up on the floor. And if you wanted to watch, if we were like, "Can we watch a film?" He'd be like, "Yeah, cool." And then he had this weird system where his TV. Like, if you put a video in the front room, he could watch it in his bedroom.
Right. What, so it was wired up through the floor?
Must have been.
Right.
Because whatever we put on, he would just watch as well.
On a different screen.
On a different screen.
I mean, that's for the time.
Hey.
I don't know anyone that would have done that in a domestic situation.
Nor do I. I just remember we were watching Terminator, under 6.
Yeah.
And, like, I went to the loo, and I just saw him lying on the bed, like on his front, just watching the Terminator as well. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess we're all watching it.
That's mad.
But yeah, that was the thing. He just had a load of films. I remember he had RoboCop, Terminator, those kind of films, essentially.
Right. And you watched them all?
Not all of them. I'd never watched RoboCop, I don't think.
Okay.
But like Terminator, we definitely watched too young. Aliens, I think we watched too young.
Yeah. Do you remember being like incensed by it? Do you remember being shocked?
No, Terminator.
Were you in good company?
Terminator, I wasn't too spooked about. Like the only thing in Terminator that ever would have freaked me out would be him digging out his own eyeball.
Yeah.
But like, I just don't remember that. If that makes sense.
No. Okay. I mean, you're probably too young to process it in a way. Like
that's the kind of thing I thought. I also remember. Like, I remember having a weird, like, as a kid, having a weird thought. They showed a clip of, like, Hellraiser on the news. Not in, like, a, you know, but in just very much like a, this is the kind of filth that they're showing kind of thing. And I remember saying to my dad, like, yeah, but it's a film. So it's not real.
Okay.
So it's, I don't know why you'd be afraid. And then Dad being like, yeah, you're not watching Hellraiser. So... Like,
so you were trying to put your case forward.
I think in isolation, I believed it was fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think when I got a bit older, I realised I couldn't watch horror films because they got me too much.
Right, okay.
So I think there might have been that... When I was 6, I think, you could have shown me anything, and I just don't think I would have got it.
No.
And then when I became a bit more aware of my surroundings and things that actually scared me and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Like...
It's got to be normal, yeah.
Then I was all of a sudden I couldn't do horror films, and I was a right scaredy cat. I was a real dweeb as a kid. Do I want to say dweeb?
You're quite sensible then as a kid, would you say? Like...
Sensible and sensitive.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So, yeah, like, I remember crying at a film at school once because it was about a lost... I think it was 2 lost toys trying to find their owners.
Right.
And then at the end, they get separated. Because,
Toy
like...
Story.
That's the one. And because I think the girl finds, like, her toy, and then she takes him and gets on the bus, and then the toys look at each other as the bus pulls away.
Oh, God.
And I was weeping. And I remember the kids around me being like, Miss, Ted's crying. Right. And I just remember being like, 'cause it's sad.
Yeah.
And, like, being made to feel like I was a soft little twat for having an emotion.
Yeah.
But... having a film affect me emotionally, I don't know if it's still the same, but, like, films affect me emotionally a lot more than real life. Like, I'm quite heartless in real life. Like, if I don't know you, I don't give a shit. Which sounds harsh, but I just don't care. And not in like I don't want to be... it's a complete indifference.
Yeah.
It's like, I got no skin in the game, so I'm sure that's shit for you, I'm really sorry. But I don't really care. Whereas with films, I can watch a film and still get quite teary over a subject that it's like, well, no, that doesn't really affect me.
So if a film is like, say if a film's being sentimental and it does it well, then you will feel emotional, sentimental.
Yes, there are topics that hit me a lot harder.
Okay, yeah.
But, I think it's not like I'm weeping at... We watched Imitation of Life once, the Douglas Sirk film, at uni. I think it's Douglas Sirk. If it isn't, get in the comments. And everyone else cried, and I wasn't crying.
Right.
So, and everyone there, I got told I was a robot.
Right.
And I was like, well, it's not that sad. But there are films that do make me cry. Yeah. But yeah, 18 rated films that... also, when we were a kid, Dad let Louis watch Alien quite young. I think he might have been under 9. And
hell, that's young.
It is.
Yeah.
It's too young. And I remember walking into the kitchen. He was allowed to watch Alien, but only on the small portable telly in the kitchen because it was on at Christmas.
Just how Ridley Scott envisaged it being.
How Ridders wanted it on a lovely 4:3 square telly.
In the kitchen.
And I walked in when they were flamethrowing Ian Holm.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, that was how they got the alien out of him.
Right.
So I said to my dad, I was like, I think I've seen the worst part. You know when they're getting the alien out of him and they're setting him on fire? My dad was like, that's not how they get the alien out of him. I was like, well, I've seen that.
Yeah. Years later, you found out the way they do it is obviously Sigourney Weaver pulls it out through the mouth. That's how they do it, you see. Yes. Finally got
and Ian
there.
Holm got really ripped.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So, like, did you sort of feel that... I think it's similar to me in that you saw quite a bit of, 18 cert stuff, probably too young, which obviously a lot of it had gone over our heads. That's fine. Yeah. I don't think there's like a sort of like desensitization issue to worry about certain things. But do you find that like... at what age then could you appreciate an 18 film, for example? Like, do you remember like sort of being 18 or 15 and being like, wow, this is heavy, but
kind of. When we moved to Shrewsbury, and we were big record it off the telly people.
Yeah, same in my household.
And Reservoir Dogs and Easy Rider, were both recorded off the telly, and I got up early. I didn't get up early to watch them, but I woke up really early one day and was just like, oh, I'm awake. What should I do? And it's like, oh, I'll just go sit in the living room, you know. And it was before school, so I was just like, I'll just go do that. And I watched. Did I watch both? I definitely watched Easy Rider. And like I told Dad, and Dad was like, that's a bit heavy. You probably shouldn't have watched that. And I was like, no, I thought it was really good. I really liked Jack Nicholson in it, and I was really shocked that, you know, they killed him at the end, like Dennis Hopper at the end. And I was like, I didn't think you could do that in films, you know?
Yeah.
And I must have been, I was at Bedston at that point, so I think I must have been about 10 or 11, maybe 12.
Okay.
Watching Easy Rider. And at that age, I was way into that era of music, the sort of 60s, 70s.
Okay, so there's that appeal.
So the music was a really big pull for me. And motorbikes, obviously, were a big pull for me. And when I watched it, there was a sense of just like, oh, this isn't what I thought this was about. Right. I thought this was about two guys who rode motorbikes. That was it. You know, I didn't realize it was a message on counterculture. And I remember just watching it and just sort of being like, oh, okay. Like, you can have a film that doesn't have a satisfying ending. Like, you can have a film that has unnecessary death. Yeah. And there's no retribution to that.
Just bleak.
You just have to deal with it.
Yeah,
you know? And like,
yeah.
Scenes don't necessarily have to make sense, which I think is very specific to Easy Rider, especially when they do acid and they go around the New Orleans cemetery. And yeah, it just, that film felt very like, oh, okay, you don't have to play by a certain set of rules when you make a film. And as an audience member, you don't have to play the game. Like, you can just watch what you're shown. Years later, I found out, you know, about Italian neorealism, where the filmmaker has got that sort of, we don't owe you a satisfying conclusion. Like, we don't owe you a story. We're just going to show you 2 hours of something. Yeah. It's up to you to enjoy it. That's too much for me. Yeah. But the Hollywood Renaissance, like New Hollywood era, I think they captured something very interesting. And that's the kind of, for a long period of time after that film, I was very interested in the sort of mid-60s to mid-70s, to 75, obviously, because that's the end of the New Hollywood era. But sort of that mid-60s, mid-70s, just watching a lot of things like that. Yeah. You know, probably a bit too young and having to rewatch them again as an adult, which wasn't a shame, but seeking out Parallax View and All the President's Men and sort of being like, what's this? What's going on here? Yeah. And then, you know, watching those films and being like, oh, this is good. And then being told by Dad about Scorsese films. Yes. Yeah. And then sort of watching Raging Bull, watching Goodfellas, Mean Streets was one I watched a bit later. But same thing of just being made aware by Dad of, well, Dad's a big Italian and French film fan. Okay. So, you know, we told and watched a lot of sort of Jacques Tati or Fellini films. They just were on. Yeah. Mum was a lot more Godard. Mum was a big fan of French New Wave. So when I got a bit older and, you know, would ask about films, they would show me or tell me about a certain film. And then they either had them on video or DVD anyway at that point, and I would just watch them. Mum and Dad used to have their own cupboard of films. Nice. And there was like the communal films, and then it was like, well, these are for me. You're not going to be interested in these. Yeah. And then there would be a time where like it was
the good shit.
Go on, have a look. Hammer chords in there. You know, Belle de Jour.
So having that kind of like that cultural playground, so to speak, like with your parents being so into film, it must have been invaluable. But I mean, do you? Obviously, that's great that like they could recommend films to you, or they could certainly say whether we're not quite ready for this yet. But do you remember at that sort of age being excited enough about things like Easy Rider to the point where you try and excitedly recommend it to your friends, or was it more like this is my thing for at home? Or
I was a film snob very early.
Yeah, well, I mean, your parents knew their stuff, so obviously they were giving you the confidence to be.
But even with things like Groundhog's Day. Right. Groundhog Day, we had off the telly, and that was a film that I watched a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
And then one day it was on TV again.
Yeah.
And then the next day at school, everyone was banging on about it. And I was like, come on. I've seen that film it's a great film, but you've only just discovered it. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So,
you sweet summer child.
yeah.
It's a fucking brilliant film.
Oh, it's a banger.
I have to say.
Absolute banger.
You know,
such a good film.
Yeah, it
and
is.
Bill Murray was another one of those people when I was younger. I would, in quite a autistic way, and I don't know, I hope I'm not using that, because we're all on the spectrum, and I assume if I am on the spectrum, well, not on the spectrum, of course I am, but like, my knowledge of film feels like it verges into that sort of hyper focus of either ADHD or autism.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I would latch onto a filmmaker or an actor, and I would make it my job to watch all of their films. Bruce Willis was one.
Right.
Yeah, I was big.
So how
Bruce
old?
Willis.
How old are you talking? Because you don't talk about him now as much. Like I've known you for a long time, but you don't really talk about Bruce Willis in the same way you always talk about Spielberg, for example. So what age would you have been?
13.
Okay.
When
yeah.
When did Fifth Element come out?
96. So yeah, you'd have been about
So about
12,
then.
13.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit older.
96. No, 96. I was younger than that.
Okay.
But let's say around 2000s, so about 12.
Yeah.
Let's say around then.
Turn of the century sort of time. Like
Thank you. Yes, turn of the century.
Yeah.
Like the Victorian urchin I am.
Fin de siècle.
And like 12 Monkeys.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch that.
Yeah.
Fifth Element. But then like Last Man Standing, Last Boy Scout. Like real. Was he Last Boy Scout? Yeah. And like Moonlighting, whatever. Like I would watch that, and I would go out of my way to try and find every film that had Bruce Willis in it, and I would watch it. And they did the same with Bill Murray, and that then turned into that's how I would go through film.
Okay.
I would find a filmmaker I liked and be like, oh, I'll watch all of Mike Leigh's films and see what that's about.
Yeah.
And, and
you were a completist sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
So, what was the question?
Sort of like, sort of saying.
Oh, did I want to tell anyone about it?
Yeah. Could you find similar, like-minded friends?
So no. I the first friend I had who was into film was Sam. That's why he was the first episode of this podcast, is because when I moved up to Shrewsbury, about a year after we moved up, I met Sam, and we just talked and watched film. Have done for 30 years at this point. And he was the first person that I could talk about films, and it was received in the same way that it was being taken.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people up until this point, like, oh, we watched Schwarzenegger last night. And it's like, we watched Terminator 2 last night. What are you on about? It's like, be specific.
Yeah.
And there weren't many kids when I was growing up who were into film the way I was into film. And I think for a long time I thought that was a problem. I thought it was very much like, oh, well, why am I into it like this? Well, I probably shouldn't be, because everyone else is into football. Really? Yeah. I was very afraid of not fitting in and not being cool or with it. Whatever it is, they change it every fucking year.
Are you talking like as a teen? Early teen again, or a bit younger again?
Probably a bit younger. I think by the time I had got to being a 14-year-old, like Sam and I were in full swing film.
Yeah.
So I didn't need friends at school to be into film, because I had Sam for film. And Sam and I would be watching Halloween films.
Yeah.
At the time, H2O, I think, we saw Resurrection when that came out of the cinema, but H2O or H20 was sort of, we watched those first 7 to death, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And Sam would get a lot of DVDs and we would watch a load of films, and then that's just how we would do it. And then other friends, I just didn't really feel like I needed to like be that into film with. And I've never, like, film has always been my thing. It, as in, for me, if there's a film that I think people would like, I only really recommend it if they're like, oh, I'm really into this at the moment, and I'm like, oh, you should watch this film.
Yeah.
You know? Whereas if I've seen a good film, I'll tell my parents about it. I'll tell you about it, usually, if it's a good horror film. Or I'll tell Ollie or Sam. I will tell very specific film friends about a general film I have seen.
Yes.
But other people, throughout time, I've realised don't look at film the same way I look at film, and it's no point.
Yeah, okay.
Like it, and that's not to be, that might come across.
No.
But it's in the same way that, like, I think I used to think it was, and it might be because I was told it by certain people that I thought I was a bit of like, oh, you think you know everything about film, and it's like, no, but I do know a fuck ton more than you.
Yeah,
but only because that's what I'm into.
Yeah, that's the
so
thing.
It's not like, and if you were to turn around, no, and if you were to tell me like, well, I know a fuck ton more about football, I'd be like, yeah, I fucking hope you do, man. You love it. Like, I think whatever you love, you should know everything about it. Yeah, like you should just, like, you with
it's
music.
Treasure trove.
It's it's like I think for a long time I was really sad that I couldn't watch every film. I genuinely was like, oh, I'm never going to get to watch every fucking film. That's so annoying. And then when I die, there's going to be films I don't get to see. And then you're just like, shut up. If you ever get to the day where you run out of things to watch, what a shame. You'll just have to rewatch all the good stuff again.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
get some.
Don't worry about it. So like, I never felt the need to make certain friends watch films. When I've spoken to people recently, they would all say, like, you have always been into film and you always knew films and you were always like showing us films, and I didn't realize I did that. So I had Jason on recently, and it was really nice. His film that had a sentimental place in his heart was a film that I showed him, and it was me and him watching it was the moment, and I was amazing. Like, that's lovely. And I just didn't realize that it's like, oh okay. Like, I knew I was into film, but I didn't think other people realized I was into film. I thought I just, like, I talk about film the same way you all talk about riding your bikes. So I just thought it's just talking. Yeah. But obviously it wasn't.
Do you want to elaborate on that sort of, that realization? What was the other film you said you watched that
Reservoir
morning?
Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs.
That one didn't have as much of a
impact.
An impact. I think. Had I seen Pulp Fiction at that point? I might have seen Pulp Fiction at that point.
I mean, Tarantino.
I didn't like it. I didn't like Tarantino.
You didn't like him?
No.
Obviously, he's got. I mean, he's out of American filmmakers over the last 30 years. He's American writer-directors. He's probably the biggest name, isn't he? I'd say. Yeah,
he was one of the independent filmmakers in the 90s who broke out to become mainstream.
Would you say that because of like your sort of like earlier finding your tastes earlier, then you would have seen Reservoir Dogs or Pulp Fiction or anything, that when he come along, the cinematic renaissance that a lot of young people might have by discovering Tarantino had already happened to you elsewhere with something else, perhaps, maybe Easy Rider, or just the stuff that your parents had on offer for you to see?
What do you mean?
Like, as in sort of like art house stuff, or like kind of stuff that's like, you know, a bit more sort of like high art level of stuff. Do you know what I mean? You can, which I would consider Tarantino to be like that in some ways, like kind of thing.
Yeah, I think the reason I didn't like Tarantino was because I thought he was too mainstream.
Okay, for you,
for me,
or for his, you don't think. Oh, he didn't deserve his level of success.
No, he does deserve. He does deserve his level of success. And Tarantino is really good if you don't watch thousands of films.
Okay.
If you watch thousands of films, then you've seen all of his references done better. And it's just that simple. If you haven't, and you've only got time to watch one exploitation film, go watch Jackie Brown. No, don't watch Superfly. But like, if you haven't got time to go through all of the westerns, go watch Good, Bad, the Ugly. Don't watch Django Unchained. But like, I just feel like if you've never seen all the films that he's referencing, he does take all the best parts and makes a very interesting film. There's nothing bad to be said against that.
I mean, he's really lent into that, hasn't he?
Because,
yes,
he's not lying to everyone by saying he invented
film scholars
cinema.
From day one leapt on his films and were like, "Oh, we can clearly see which films have influenced this." But he's lent into it, and he's always like been a sort of like almost like a geek level of homage and stuff. I mean,
yes, which I don't think he would get away with today. Because everyone has so much access to all of these cinemas.
Yeah.
I think if anyone tried to do it now, you'd look at them and go, "You're just doing this, mate."
Yeah.
Whereas people hadn't seen City on Fire when Reservoir Dogs came out.
Yeah.
So people didn't know who Chow Yun-fat was because maybe a handful of people in your circle of friends had seen Killer or Hard Boiled, or not Hard Boiled. Yeah, Hard Boiled, or A Better Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that you might have seen those films, but you probably hadn't seen City on Fire. And similar things with all of his other films. You might have seen Shaft, but you hadn't seen all of Pam Grier's films.
No,
and I'm not saying that you have to see all of Pam Grier's films. If you like Pam Grier's films, go watch all of Pam Grier's films.
Yeah.
So I think at a time when they were less accessible, he was doing something really spectacular.
Yeah.
And I think he's doing it less. Like, I would say since Django, he is making Inglourious Bastards, he's making, like, films that could have been another one in that era, but not necessarily stealing from.
No.
So I think he's great, which is why, actually, I from Django, I like his films.
I mean, even with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he's rewriting history.
Exactly.
That's how original. He's actually creating alternate timelines.
That film, when I first saw it, I thought it was a pile of shite.
Okay.
And then I told my dad that, and my dad was like, "No, go back, go watch it again." Yeah. I was like, "I don't know," and he's like, "No," because I watched it and I got really fucking annoyed because I was like, if you're going to rewrite history, you don't have them do that to fucking Sharon Tate. Like, fuck off. Like, what are you doing? And then he goes like, then I got over myself and I watched it again, and it was really good. And then I watched it over again, and the complete opposite feeling. I was like, this is probably one of the best things I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's a great film.
I've recently bought it on 4K.
Yeah.
I can't wait to rewatch it.
Yeah. And also, I think about that film as well. It's like, I mean, it's not as explicitly littered with references to sort of like
specific things.
Yeah, to specific films and directors he likes, but it is a love letter to the golden age of Hollywood. Not golden age, not that far back. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it's done in such a kind of loving, and because so people survive in it and people die in it that wouldn't the other way around in real life, but he isn't trying to scrub away the haunting of what actually went down, with people like Charlie Manson and people like that. He's not making light of it.
No.
It's very good. It's very clever.
Very good. Yeah. And it's pure fantasy, but much
as Hollywood is.
As Hollywood is.
Yeah.
And also I watched Revenge. I think it's a French. It came out a couple of years ago, and it's a rape revenge film.
Right, okay.
It's on Shudder. And I was really disappointed with it because it's very much, it felt to me like, oh, if you've not seen Baise-Moi, this film's excellent.
Got you.
But if you've seen that, if you've seen Irreversible, this doesn't, we all know where this is going, like I Spit on Your Grave. It's all that, like, okay, well, we all know that as soon as she digs herself out of this hole, she's going to kill you all. Why is there still an hour of this film?
Yeah,
like,
this is the thing.
You're not doing anything new.
Yeah.
So for Tarantino to now rewrite history, do something new, It's like, excellent, yeah, great.
Exactly, and like it's not like he's gonna do it for every single film. You know,
No.
He's got 2 more films left in him.
Something like that.
Is that what he's threatening us with? Something like that. So,
How dare you, Tarantino?
Yeah,
I'll tell you something I would like to see.
Yeah.
Remake any film but in the Planet of the Apes universe.
Okay.
So Drive,
Yeah.
but they're all apes.
Last Tango in Paris.
All apes.
Yeah.
Yeah, butter up an ape's ass.
Yeah.
So yeah. Not a baboon though, because that'd be fucking...
That'd be, yeah.
That looks like someone's gone in with no butter.
That'd be miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any Marlon Brando? No, I feel like an orangutan would play him in Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
And a good-looking chimp in On the Waterfront.
Yeah. Definitely.
That man's got range.
He has. Yeah.
Orangutan and a chimp. But yes, so I think going back to what we were saying about that with the Tarantino thing, I thought Tarantino was too mainstream for me, and my 2 favourite eras of Hollywood cinema are like the Hollywood Renaissance from 65 to 75, and then the American independent of the late 80s, early 90s with your Linklaters, your Kevin Smiths and all that lot. Spike. Leanne Jones. And when I got to that era, Tarantino was the most known. So in my mind, he wasn't one of them anymore.
Okay.
He was, no, you're Hollywood elite now. So
right.
I actually feel like you are, looking at you now, you feel like an imposter in that world because you're now one of the big boys.
Yeah.
But obviously at the time, he wouldn't have been.
No.
But I do actually just think that those guys did it better.
Yeah.
The indie guys.
Did you sort of like in your burgeoning film scholarship years, did you ever rate Kubrick? Obviously, I brought Kubrick a lot in mine.
Yeah.
Like, where was your sort of where did you land on Kubrick?
Full Metal Jacket was something I watched very young.
I mean, that's exciting film to watch as a youngster.
Yeah, and when
even though it's fucking long, like all his films.
When Vincent D'Orofino,
I can't remember how you pronounce his surname.
Is he Pyle?
Pyle.
Where when Pyle shot himself,
Oh
that was
God.
Another like heart racing. Oh shit! Should I be watching this?
It's such a performance.
Yeah, and then for it to completely change film.
Yes,
it's so. As a kid, that's you can't get your head around that. You're like, what now? What are we watching?
Yeah,
and then that would have been in my Vietnam War era.
Okay.
So I would have watched that, Platoon, Apocalypse Now. Not got Apocalypse. I wouldn't have understood Apocalypse Now, but Platoon I definitely watched.
Yeah.
And then there's many sort of like Vietnam films.
That Hamburger Hill, have you seen that?
Hamburger Hill was one of them. What were other ones? I can't remember the others now. But they were definitely ones that would have friends' dads' film collections. I'd be like, what's your dad got? What's this one?
Yeah.
I'll give that a go. And then, sort of going along that route. So, yeah.
So Kubrick then, sort of like
Kubrick,
Full Metal Jacket. What did
Full Metal Jacket got watched early. 2001, I think, might have got watched too early, and then I had to rewatch that. Shining, we were told we weren't allowed to watch because it was too scary. I think my parents did not care what we watched, but The Exorcist and The Shining, and The Omen were the 3 that we were like, don't watch those.
The Unholy Trinity.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
And now when I watch them, they are the tamest of things I could have watched in the early 90s, early noughties.
Sure.
Like, as a kid with the video player, I could have found fucking anything.
You could have found Event Horizon, for fuck's sake. I mean, imagine if you'd seen that.
When we went to LA as kids, Dad was watching it next to me on the plane, and I leant over and went, "What are you watching?" And he just hand in my face went, "No, you watch your thing. You watch your thing."
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
brilliant.
I mean, Event Horizon's a banger.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kubrick did get watched, but I think I got more into him as I got older, and then I got less into him as I got to my age now. So, which is it? His is The Killers.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah, I like that film. Yeah, Paths to Glory is very good.
That's my favourite.
Yeah.
No, Barry Lyndon or that is probably my favourite.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. Barry Lyndon is it's fantastic though.
It's beautiful.
It's pretty beautiful, but it's also, I mean, everything's markedly changed after that. His films after that, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? It's almost like he was getting a bit bored when he was making it. Almost, it's beautiful, but it's
now
safe for him.
It is. And what's the next question?
Special place in your heart.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to come back to Coop.
Okay, so what film holds a special place in your heart, Ted?
There are far too many.
Okay.
Like,
well, we're only allowed 73. Can you whittle it down to 73? 74 and outside.
74?
Yeah. Yeah, 74. Let's call it 74.
Right. Well, then I'm going to count certain things as trilogies, regardless whether they're in the same things or not. No. So, as I was saying, there are films that hold a special place in my heart in the same way that, like, Jackie Chan films were such a big thing for me growing up.
Yeah.
So Police Story, Rumble in the Bronx,
Yeah.
like Operation Condor, like they all hold special places in my heart, but so does Some Like It Hot.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So does Singing in the Rain.
Yeah.
Singing in the Rain was a film that I always said no whenever my mum was like, do you want to watch Singing in the Rain? I was like, no, mum, it's rubbish. Then I watched it as an adult and I was like, fuck me, that's a good film. Yeah. And now it's one of my favourites. So, like, that has a special place because it's just one of those things that I thought I knew better and then was proved wrong.
And what a nice thing to be proven wrong about. Like, you know,
I love to be proved
withheld
wrong
pleasure
when it comes to films.
Yeah,
it's always just like, nah, it's probably going to be shit. Then I watch it, I'm like, oh, that's fucking brilliant.
That's good.
You know, Blues Brothers was another one that got mentioned because me and Louis used to bear a physical resemblance to Jake and Elwood. Him being tall and lanky, me being short and fat. So there was something about that. Like, we would reenact the scenes and I'd be Jake. You know, it was great. I loved it. And, like, Jaws holds a special place because, you know, it's an excellent, wonderful film. And when you're an aspiring filmmaker, hearing that someone at 27 could make that does make you go like, oh fuck, I gotta step my pussy up and get going. I didn't make a Jaws at 27, but you know.
Well, I tell you what, let's focus in then on Jaws. Let's focus in on one
Clerks
film
as well. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But let's focus in on one film that holds a place in your heart, complete longevity, is perennially a source of joy and wonder for you. Let's look at Jaws.
Okay.
So you said, obviously, fact number one is going to blow anyone away. Spielberg was 27 when he made the fucking film. Yeah. That's amazing. What else? Why after decade is Jaws like immovably one of the big ones for you?
Perfectly shot.
Okay, so technically
the camera is so dynamic.
Yeah.
Instead of a cut,
innovative too.
Yeah, you're pushing in. You're following tracks. You're doing a lot of things that films weren't doing, and it's technically very well made. It's dark and grim, but without being excessive. It's a PG.
Is it still?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was like a 12.
Oh, it's a 12 now.
Yeah.
But like
for a long time it was.
PG.
So if it was 15 though, say if it was 15, 30 years ago.
I think it was an X, wasn't it? When it first came out?
But when it was released in the UK, say for example, like commercial release. Like, I mean, if it was a PG for a time though, is it because, like all good films, a different person will see a different film to what other people are seeing? Like someone could watch that and watch Chief Brody's story, which is wholesome and heroic. And then other people could watch it and watch out and out horror. Yeah.
I think, was it Quentin Thomas, who was the head of BBFC
I think
for a long time?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, whoever is the head of something, you're grading to their metric of what is or what isn't acceptable.
That's it, yeah.
And in times where, to talk about the Crocodile Dundee encore cut, where they cut out a joke about the transgender community, they completely cut that out of the film.
Right.
And I think that's bang out of order.
Okay.
I think
I didn't know they did that. I've not heard
Yeah,
of
there's a
from
scene
the original Crocodile
I
Dundee
think it's
film?
from the first one or the second one.
So like 40 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And
yeah.
it was a transgender person comes onto Croc. He's all up for it, and then a couple of people in the bar like, "Watch out! She's actually a he," and Croc goes in for a handful, and then embarrasses her, and then she runs out. And and then they recut it, so now that scene's not in the film, and I think that's bang out of order.
Mm-hmm.
The Abyss on 4K. My copy is the German version because they refused to release it in the UK without cutting out the scene where the rat takes on the fluid.
Oh right.
Because they said that it caused harm to the rat. The rat survived.
Yeah.
The rat did not die after it.
Well, yeah, there was things in place like no animal cruelty and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we're witnessing
Post-Heaven's Gate.
We're witnessing animal cruelty because the animal was in distress.
Okay.
And you're like, sure, but you still flog in, what was it, like Last Tango in Paris, where she's getting raped in real life. Like, we're all fine with that, are we? Okay.
Yeah.
So I disagree with when they re-edit and they recut and they do all that kind of stuff.
By modern sort of...
By modern standards and sensibilities.
Yeah, sure.
Because of what is now considered unacceptable. And it's like, right, that's what we do then, is that we don't do that again.
Yeah, that's,
you know, you're not gonna, you can't ban Birth of a Nation or Intolerance by D.W. Griffiths, whatever, because they're very historical in how the Klan were perceived and accepted. And now you look at it in a horrible way, but you should be able to still look at it and go, fucking hell, let's not do that again, shall we?
Yeah.
So when they recut films to be a higher or lower grade, Terminator 1 was an 18.
Right. Yeah.
It's now a 15.
Yeah.
Because people's sensibilities of what is gory and scary just aren't the same anymore.
Yeah,
and I think that's fine. I think bringing certifications down is good. If you want to change it up, that's also fine too, but don't cut them. And I think what we're talking about when it comes to like Jaws now being a 12 instead of it being a PG, and someone can watch it as a horror, or someone can watch it as a thing. I think that's the beauty when it comes to those films, is that they can be whatever you perceive them to be, and the thing that you find scary is not necessarily what I find scary.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a weak tangent, I think, to bringing up recertification stuff. But there is that thing of, you know, the thing you find scary and what I find scary can be very different.
Yeah.
So watching a film that is, you know, Jaws isn't a scary. I don't think The Shining is a scary film.
No.
But like, people consider it one of the scariest.
Yeah, I don't find it scary either, but it works.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't call it anything else other than a horror film, I guess. I mean, I suppose you could say it's a pretty bleak family drama, but
I think that's the thing. I would call it a bleak psychological family drama.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I'd put it in horror just to shut people up.
Yeah, sure.
But
I know what you mean. Yeah.
But I think when it comes to that sort of the beauty of Jaws, that was a bit rambly. I don't know if we can use all that. The beauty of Jaws being that if you want to look at it as a Brody film, it's a strong film about a man coping with isolation and, you know, if you want to go with that way, like the masculinity of that sort of, I'm the defender, but I can't defend against these things. And then Hooper being like another form of masculinity where it's like, well, I'm an intellectual and people think I'm not strong or tough, but I fucking am actually, because it doesn't matter. And then you got the old age, like Quint. Masculinity in Quint, who bottles it and bottles it and bottles it up until it becomes too much for him and he breaks down and he's the one that runs away at the end. Like, it's you're a tough guy till you're not. And, you know, it's a great way when you watch Jaws that you can look at any of those three main characters as a form of like failed masculinity. Yeah. And then interpret the film via that way. Yeah. Or you can look at it from like Mrs. Brody.
Yeah, you know? Absolutely.
It's this woman who isn't considered an islander because she wasn't born there, but like, it's all about, you know, your knowing your place in society. It doesn't matter if you weren't here or not. You could be the fucking best person in the world. You weren't born here, so you're not one of us. And it's that kind of thing. There's so many wonderful elements in that film that that just don't sort of, in their own right, that could be its own storyline. But if you just want to boil it down to bad shark go chase, it's still fucking sick.
Yeah.
So I think that's the beauty of Jaws.
A hunting
about
movie.
It. Yeah. It's everything it has to be, plus it's everything it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
And depending on how you want to read it, it's very good either way.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, you know, if we were talking about films that would like that are inspirational towards my film sort of career, as it were, Jurassic Park is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Clerks is one of them. And like I'd say Jaws is like one of them.
Yeah.
But those Clerks, Jurassic Park, and Jaws, because Clerks was the first time I watched a film where I realised, oh, I could actually do this. Jurassic Park was the first one where I said,
a lot of filmmakers. Yeah.
And it's
definitely.
like Jurassic Park's the first one where I go, oh, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And then Clerks is, oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
And I think that's, you know, that's good.
And Clerks is like, out of those three films as well, is the most recent.
Yeah.
So what films like post Clerks, like, would you say that have come along that have like made an impression on you? Would you
Blue
say?
Ruin.
Oh right, my God, yeah.
I think
God,
Blue
that's a
Ruin.
good film.
That's a good film. That's another one that made me go, ooh.
Oh, I need to rewatch that. I've not watched that in about 10 years. That's a brilliant film.
It's a bloody good film.
Yeah.
And it's definitely one that makes you go like, oh, I could make films.
Did the guy who made that? I can't remember his name. Sorry. Did he go on to make Green Room?
Yeah.
Yeah. Another awesome.
Oh,
Blue Ruin was something else, but Green Room was very fun. Yeah.
Miserable. Both of them,
really
and I loved
bleak.
them.
Yeah.
But really I do. I love a bleak film.
Yeah. No, of course. Yeah.
And Gaspar Noé. I think Gaspar Noé is more recent. Like Enter the Void. I guess it's 20 years old, but like his films are films that make me just go like, oh fuck, I need to go make some films.
They are punishment.
Oh, and I love them.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about his films.
No,
They're just miserable, and I love them.
Yeah.
But Clerks is also, you know, I've made pilgrimages for Clerks. I've been to the Quick Stop. I've done all that kind of stuff. Have I met? No, I've not met Kevin Smith, but I've been to, like, I've seen him in person. You know, there's like, it's a lot of things have been in service of, you know, Clerks. I'm in the credits of Clerks too, because he lists all his MySpace friends, and I was a MySpace friend.
That's amazing.
Like, there's those things that really sort of matter. But finishing off, films that hold a special place in my heart: The Mummy.
Brendan Fraser, yeah.
Love that film.
Wow.
There's something about a rip-roaring yarn.
Yeah.
That I really like. That first Mummy film is.
I mean, I think it's completely enjoyable, but also it's kind of. I mean, we're obviously talking about Tarantino paying homages to what he likes. The Mummy owes a lot to, like, obviously Hammer and things like that and everything, which, you know, still rollickingly brilliant, enjoyable films. So, yeah. So would you have seen that in cinema then, I presume, when it come out?
Yeah, I probably would have seen that in the cinema. It was one of the films that when we got it on video, my mum watched it, rewound it, and then watched it again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's only done that a few films, but that's definitely one I remember she did it with.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's you know, the films that hold a special place in my heart are always the ones that either that were introduced to me by mum and dad, or the ones that have sort of influenced my film career. And films get added to that, like, special place in my heart quite often.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mentioned it earlier, but Enter the Void. It's a 20-year-old film, but I only watched it for the first time recently. It's excellent.
So I mean, obviously because of the fact that, like, you've been such a self-made film scholar from such a young age as well, it seems that, like, the films that you hold dear, on one hand, you've got quite difficult art house, non-English language films, and then on the other hand, you've got some of the biggest box office hits of all time. So, like, you cast your net wide with what you like. You're not afraid to be.
No.
You know, you're not exclusive.
No.
You know?
And I think if you become exclusive, you really fucking ruin it for yourself.
I think so too.
You know, like, have you seen Mutant Mayhem, the newest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film?
No, I'm too good for that.
Exactly. It's fucking excellent.
Okay.
Did you watch K-pop Demon Hunters?
I think because like I got
'Cause
a
you got the
young
girls,
daughter,
yeah.
yeah, I've probably seen it about 176 times. Yes. Yeah.
Maybe it's not as good for you. But that Turning Red, it's like films that
Turning Red's fucking amazing.
like they're
Yeah.
not films that I would normally seek out, but every now and then I'm like, oh, give it a go. It looks all right, and then I love it. And you know, I messaged you the other day because it was like, oh, I'm going to get Shudder for a month
Yes.
because they don't update that often. Shudder.
No.
And I think the last time
I found that when I had it, like, yeah.
I think the last time I had it, I watched everything I wanted, and then I hadn't had it for a long time, so I thought, I'll go back and I'll get it again. And I watched Odyssey and Caveat on there, and they were fucking great fun.
Just, yeah.
Like, they're so much fun.
Yeah.
And Odyssey I preferred, but Caveat was still fucking...
I mean, either of them.
Yeah, it was...
Yeah, either of them, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I've watched a load of stuff off of there, and... I realised that it's some things that happen to just fall into the genre of horror. They're not that good, and I think if you're so just I just watch Marvel films, then you're going to get disappointed eventually. If you only watch horror, you're going to get disappointed eventually.
Yeah.
Whereas if you I quite like classical Hollywood films, and sometimes someone will say, "Oh, you've never seen In a Lonely Place." Watch that, it's fucking excellent. And you're like, oh yeah, go on then, I'll watch it In a Lonely Place. And it is excellent. And then I only recently got into Clint Eastwood films. That was my most recent like deep dive. I think I bought all of his films.
What, really?
Yeah. I'd seen Clint films.
Yeah.
But
you like proper intense focus now. You're properly going through his films.
So there's that Clint box set.
Yes. Yeah.
And then there's another Clint box set.
Yeah.
On the shelf there, which is like
Play Misty for Me.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
And then there's also like all the spaghetti westerns as well.
Okay.
So I think between those 3 box sets plus a handful of solo films, I think I have all of his films now. There's maybe about 10 I don't have.
My mum wanted to call me Clint. It got vetoed, but Clint Fox.
I mean, all right. Clint's a bold one.
It is, yeah.
It could either be Clint or Clinton, like Clinton cards.
Yeah.
Or Cunt Fox.
Yeah. I mean, it might have been on the cards. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm sure your mum called your dad that.
So Clint Eastwood is like is your current deep dive director.
I've gone off him now because I watched
them all.
So many.
Okay.
That I actually had to stop watching them.
What's your favourite? Yeah.
What was it?
I know that's a bit of a ridiculous thing. It's like, a ridiculous question.
The Mule was really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think...
I
think The Outlaw Josie Wales, to be honest.
Okay.
I think that's a fantastic film. My mum genuinely wanted to call me Clint after Clint Eastwood. My mum and dad, they showed me some Clint Eastwood when I was younger. So showed me like High Plains Drifter. So I saw High Plains Drifter and The Outlaw Josie Wales and Play Misty for Me before Unforgiven came out and stuff. So I was already, kind of experienced a little bit of the rough-edged, lower budget Clint, and I was just
fair. I
just thought, like, God, this is so cowboy films can be done like this.
Like, yes,
just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
They are amazing, and when I look at my letterbox of what are my favourites, Good, the Bad, the Ugly, Unforgiven, Fistful of Dollars.
Yeah,
for a few dollars more. Dirty Harry, but then Outlaw Josie Wales, Pale Rider. Like his cowboy ones are bloody good. And yeah, there's some clangers, but there's also some absolute bangers.
But he's done so much.
He's done so much.
It's inevitable, like you said. Yeah.
And I just don't. I think there's so much in his performances. Like The Mule, I think is like, even though it's like one of his later ones, like he shows a side of himself that you don't see. He shows like a real soft, like Larry type of vibe. Yeah. Where it's just like, oh, he seems like a nice, normal chap.
Yeah. And
you're like, oh, Clint, like you've got so much good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I even went back and watched a load of old episodes of Rawhide. And he was excellent in that. And you just think, if someone's been excellent from the 50s to now, Christ, like it's hard. And I think he still makes adult films, not like pornogs, but like
I'd hope not. Yeah,
like Paul Thomas Anderson, I think might be the only other director that I think the same of him, where
Right, okay.
you've made a film that is for a grown-up audience. It's not necessarily in theme, but it's just like, no. There's no yucks in it. There's just, it's comedy, but it's a real fucking, it's a grown-up film.
Yeah, that's it.
And I miss that. That's one of the things I miss about modern cinema, is that you don't, in Hollywood cinema, let's say, you don't just get a good old-fashioned 90-minute thriller that is for adults. You get either something that's quite gory for blokes, or you get something that's aimed for 20-year-olds. So, well, actually, they're aimed at 14 to 45-year-olds. So there's no nuance in it. It's, we're going to put Ryan Reynolds in it. You're going to get Sam Jackson in it. Someone's going to swear funnily while the other one acts like they're not used to this kind of thing. And then at the end, the reversal of roles, and everyone's going to have a lovely time. And it's all just full of shit laughs. And it's just like, I'm done. I don't need to fucking watch that. Whereas if you show me a film that has story, who'd have thought that's the thing that's going to fucking...
Who'd have thunk it?
Who'd have thunked it? Have you seen One Battle After Another yet?
No. I am, like, totally, like, so behind on my homework.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I think that film might be the best thing I've seen in a while.
Okay. Right. Yeah. I will make a note.
It was
and watch it in the next 15 years.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Have you even seen The Master yet? Are you that far behind on P.T. Anderson?
Oh, yeah, no, I've seen that. In fact, that might have been, because I never saw the one he did with Joaquin Phoenix.
Inherent Vice.
I didn't see that.
I saw it in cinema.
After that.
I didn't enjoy it.
That's based on the book, isn't it?
Yeah, so's One Battle.
Is it?
I think it's the same author.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to rewatch Inherent Vice because I didn't enjoy it at the time, but I think that might be something that maybe as an adult. I say as an adult.
Did you do Phantom Thread after?
Yeah.
I mean, I saw that and that was just...
I haven't seen Phantom Thread.
Oh my goodness.
To be honest...
Staggeringly good.
Inherent Vice threw me off him for a bit because I didn't see Phantom Thread and I haven't seen Licorice Pizza.
Oh, I've not seen Licorice Pizza.
But that's also meant to be very good.
Okay. So yeah, is Clint up there for you? Is he going to stay as close to your heart as Jackie Chan?
No. Clint is a spectacular filmmaker and a real champion of cinema, much like Tom Cruise.
A legend,
if you will. Yeah, and I'm going to repeat that thing about Tom Cruise because I know he gets a lot of flack, but I do think he has done so much for cinema.
Oh, I completely agree. Yeah, very much so.
He's extremely passionate about his field and mad respect. But Jackie Chan, he has done so much for cinema and for action films and for all that kind of stuff. But personally, I enjoy his films so much.
Yeah.
And I don't think you could have I don't think you could find another Jackie. Like everyone was trying to be Bruce Lee, and then Jackie came out and was Jackie.
Yeah.
And then, there's been other people. The guy who did Kung Fu Hustle, Shaolin Soccer. There's been other filmmakers who have attempted to do a Jackie Chan thing, and it just doesn't work. In the same way that I don't think there will be another sort of Clint Eastwood. I don't think there'll be another... I can't think of any actor that I don't think is actually replaceable at this point. But
Jada Pinkett Smith.
There'll never be another Jada.
No, there won't.
But yeah, I don't think there'll be another version of these people. And that's great. There should be...
One-offs.
And then people should learn. Like, there isn't another Buster Keaton, but Jackie comes pretty fucking close.
Right.
It's that, And I also enjoy it when you can see someone's influences,
Yeah. Well, it's kind of it's endearing, but also it's like if you're educated enough to spot these as well, it's quite rewarding as well, isn't it?
Which is funny that I say that, but I don't like Tarantino.
Well, yeah.
Maybe there's a jealousy in it.
Why?
His geekdom has been rewarded handsomely with being able to create.
Okay.
And mine is currently just looked at like, another guy who thinks he's into film.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah.
I'd say jealousy is my biggest problem.
I think that's all right. The thing is, the trouble is, when you've often when you come to try and want to make a thing, like follow an artistic pursuit, an artistic career, and do something like fastidiously well. What came before you even, types the first line of your script was your scholarly taste. And your taste is initially going to be better than your talent. Do you know what I mean? It's the same with a band starting out that likes Radiohead. They're going to sound like fucking Radiohead.
Yeah.
And they have to get through that and let go of the reins and just do their own thing. They have to go journey into the dark and do their own thing. That's what you have to do. But if you're...
I like doing that with comedians.
Yeah.
When you watch a comedian doing early work and you're like, oh, you really like Stuart Lee.
There we go.
You
and,
know?
and that in itself is quite sort of like reassuring though, isn't it? Because it makes you realise that we all, you know, kind of like are all built on our influences. It's when you do your own thing. Tarantino does his own thing and has done his own thing from day one, really. I mean, like, it's just, you know, it's kind of... He's just been a bit more, you know, covering all corners with regards to letting people know who's influenced him, and that's absolutely fine. But yeah, I do think that. I think but I think when you start, your originality comes through, or rather, your confidence in your originality comes through.
Yes,
that's when you let go of the shackles of what's the point? I'll never be good as this person, that person.
Yeah, comparison is the thief of joy, as they
say.
Yeah. And
that's a lot quicker way of what I just spent about 4 minutes wasting.
Well, I'm the writer.
Yeah, well, there we go. Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you're saying, and it's always humbling as well when you think, oh, bloody Orson Welles did everything by the age of 23, and then you think of, I can't think of a single one now. But when you think of like a filmmaker who didn't start until they were in their 40s or 50s, Alan Rickman,
yeah,
and you're just like, oh, okay, if I can be as good as Rickman, then I haven't got to worry yet.
Yeah, well, we've heard a lot of your opinions tonight about film, Ted, but
that's why I started a podcast.
Well, there we go. What's your controversial opinion about a famous film?
So the one I always say is that The Dark Knight's not very good.
I wonder if you're going to mention that one or Primer actually, but you've gone with
and Primer. I think it's really good. Now,
so just The Dark Knight out of those three films, just The Dark Knight?
No, out of those three films, I think Batman Begins is the only one that's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
If I was ever to watch a Batman film for enjoyment, those three would never cross my mind.
Okay.
I'd go Keaton.
Is it going to appear now?
It's a bigger, bolder problem than with The Dark Knight. I think The Dark Knight is the film that made me think this, but as a whole, I think Christopher Nolan is an extremely overrated director.
Yeah.
And I think...
I'm with you.
But... the bit where I'm going to lose you here. Going back, I think Kubrick is now overrated.
Fuck off.
Genuine.
I'm going.
Get fucked.
I'm going.
I'm blocking the door, prick.
Stick this microphone up your peach drain.
But I think...
okay.
I think his earlier work, much like Nolan, was a lot more interesting than his last work. Right. Even though his last work was a lot more, successful, let's say.
Okay.
So, Memento, Prestige, I think these are better Nolan films.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Interstellar, I think, is dog shit.
Yeah.
Inception, I think, is it's fine, but it's boring. Once you they're just nonsense. All the way up until Oppenheimer was dull. I don't get it. I don't get what everyone was losing their dicks over for.
Did you watch Tenet?
Yeah, again, another one which I was just like, when people started to get a bit funny with Tenet, I was like, oh, good, everyone. That's the problem. What you're seeing with Tenet is what I see since The Dark Knight. And it's just lazy, regurgitated filmmaking, which it's really obvious as well, the ones that weren't written by his brother. The ones that were written by his brother are pretty good.
Oh, I assumed he was like the whole... Right.
His brother wrote most of them, most of the good ones. And then without his brother, there's a very clear drop in quality.
Is that him? Is it Christopher writing it himself then?
I assume so. Or it's him dictating to another writer how he wants the story to go and then being a bit more in control. I don't know. And then it's how I feel as well about Kubrick, in the sense that everyone makes him out to be this big old like auteur.
Yeah.
And everything was so like, oh, he was so fastidious and everything had to be just right. And you're just like, yeah, that's also quite cuntish behaviour. Like, there's no need. If you've not explained what you want from your actors, you don't need to do that many takes. Like, I'm a firm believer in that. Like, if people aren't getting it after a few takes, have a word and be like, what is it we're not getting? Like, because if we're not getting it, I've not explained it, you know? And making people go through emotional distress because it improves the performance, that's not what they're doing. They're acting. So if they're not producing the emotional performance that you want, then they're just not a good enough actor. Don't then make them go through that distress to then make a better performance. That's not good.
William Friedkin did the same, didn't he, as well?
And that's the thing, like, Billy Friedkin made some great films, but I just...
He was also a sadist.
Yeah, like, I just think, like, with Kubrick, everyone always, you know, blows his dick up, and he's made great films. I've mentioned them. They are great films. But, you know, I love how everyone assumes every mistake in The Shining is actually a subtle reference to something. It's like, no, it was a mistake. And you just got to let that go. Like, why is that chair not in that shot, but it's in this one? Because they took it out of the shot for some reason. Or it wasn't there in an earlier shot that they really liked the take of, and they thought, it's a bit bland, that wall. Put that chair in there. That's a shame. No one's going to fucking notice. You know? So I think there's a lot of that, and Kubrick and Nolan, I put those two together in the sort of like, it's this, I think this is where my film snobbery comes out. It's, if you aren't into film, it's really easy to say their films are the best. Because you're not wrong.
Yeah.
They are great films.
And there's enough critical acclaim out there to back you up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's, if you're not into film, I think Shawshank Redemption is one of the best films ever made. Sure, it's not. It's one of the best Western films ever made, but it's not one of the best films ever made.
It's a very low-hanging fruit kind of argument, isn't it? Sort of
exactly. Like, it's really hard to argue that they're not good films, because they are good films, but they're just not great films.
But do you think... Okay, then. But do you think The Dark Knight is a good film?
No.
You don't actually think it's even a good film?
No, I don't think it's a good film.
Yeah. So you think it's a pretty epic failure, then? Because it's 2 hours of cinema that did very
I was very bored.
Okay.
And I've watched it about 5 times. And every time...
give it a good shot.
Oh, every time I've watched it, I've understood more and liked just as bad, at least. Like, just as bad. Like, I've sort of gone like, okay, I can see what you're doing here. It doesn't work. And like, people ask about the performances. Yeah, they're fine performances. I don't think in a world where you want to be hyper real, a man would dress as a bat and put on a silly voice. And also the Joker, do I look like the kind of person that has a plan? You've had to plan every single thing to do this. So then people will say like, oh yeah, but that's him playing with Harvey Dent. He's always manipulating. And it's like, no, even at the end, his big plan didn't work because he assumed everyone was bad like him. But
one thing I've never understood in that film is when the Joker appears, and he gets the pencil and he stabs it,
how the fuck does that work?
Is it an actually table or is it a giant Weetabix?
Exactly.
And if it is a giant Weetabix, it would have gone on the other gangster's eye. It would have actually just pushed it through and he'd been fine. So it's like, I don't know, get. But I won't slag off Heath Ledger because obviously, like, the man died. So if you slag him off, then you're going to hell.
Oh,
you know, I'd say you will go to hell if you say anything bad about him.
He was very good in Candy.
I've not seen it.
Have you not?
No.
Oh,
Candy.
It's an Australian film.
Okay.
Him and his girlfriend at the time.
Right.
Not Abby
Cornish. It is Abby Cornish. Oh, were they like
they were a
drug
couple.
Dealers in the
addicts?
Drug addicts in the film.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
And he prozzies her out.
Yeah, that's it. No, that is good. That's good.
Jeffrey Rush.
I get that mixed up in my mind because
10 Things I Hate About You.
No, I get it mixed up with is it Little Fishes with Cate Blanchett where she plays a drug user as well.
Oh,
and the drugs are hidden in the little plastic fishes that you get like soy sauce in. In my mind, Abby Cornish and the Joker both are
both Cate Blanchett.
Yeah, are both Cate Blanchett, but with
Veronica
facial
Guerin's
scars.
a different film.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's a great film. I have seen it, and I do like Abby Cornish, and she's got Jack White's face. I think she's absolutely brilliant.
Hey, look, you can't have everything. That's the thing. When everyone says that, like, oh, Heath Ledger should have got he did get an Oscar for it.
Yeah.
But everyone's like, it was such a good performance. It's like,
but they should have dug him up and given it to him. Is what should have happened. That would have been the kindest.
Where was the commitment?
Okay, Weekend at Bernie's.
Just being shimmied on, tied foot to foot to two other actors, both the Olsen twins. But I know what I was going to get at with it is that he had done better performances, or not better performances, but he had proven that he was a good actor before then. But everyone
it wasn't like
Dark
the
Knight,
surprise,
right?
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay,
it's all of that thing when people were saying like, "Oh, RDJ deserves an Oscar for an Iron Man." It's like, no, he doesn't. What he deserved an Oscar for was Chaplin, which I think he got one for or got nominated for. It's like Robert Downey Jr. is a very good actor. Iron Man is him playing himself.
Yeah.
When you see what that man can produce, Scanner Darkly is a beautiful performance for him.
He's brilliant in Less Than Zero.
Yes,
that's a brilliant film. That's a really good adaptation, actually. Like, yeah.
And it's when people want to, like, oh, Leo deserved it for Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah,
Leo didn't deserve it for Wolf of Wall Street.
No,
Leo did deserve it for The Aviator.
Yeah,
or What's Eating Gilbert Grape, or Basketball Diaries. Like, there's so many things that Leo should have got an award for, but didn't. The Revenant wasn't a performance that he should have got an award for, and nor was Wolf of Wall Street. Leo's getting really good work out at the moment. One Battle is excellent, and I hope he goes up for Best Supporting for that. But, like, I think people get very locked in on these, like, well, Christopher Nolan's the best director we've got at the moment, so he deserves everything. And it's like, okay, but no.
And there are other things out there. Yeah,
there are other things out there. And I really wish, like, it's really hard when you've been offered 300 million or 350 fucking million to go make the Odyssey up in Scotland for 6 years or whatever the fuck he's doing. But remember when you were making, was it The Following, his first short film he did? Yeah. Like, remember when you were that guy and what you would have done for a £250,000 budget, right? How about you don't take a 350 million film? How about you take 100 million and then you offer the rest of that money out to other filmmakers who might make some stories? And I you know, I've got a big issue with filmmakers taking big money, actors taking big money, and studios demanding big money. Like, I just think that there needs to be a redistribution of wealth when it comes to those things. Because I just think that a lot of the same faces are getting bigger budgets because the studios are so afraid to, like, oh, everyone loves their tap.
Exactly.
And it's just like, oh, yeah, all right, cool. Like,
more of the same.
More of the fucking same, eh? Like, and no one's going to the fucking cinema. So why'd you keep making it? You know? So I don't know. Nolan and Kubrick, I think, are very good, but both quite overrated.
Yep. What have you been watching recently? Let's not wallow in the past anymore. Come on, bring us up to speed.
Bring into the future.
Yeah.
What have I been watching? I'm going to pull up my old
letterbox,
and I'm only going to go for the 3.5 and above hits.
Okay.
Because I've seen a lot recently. I think in the last
a lot of turd.
Yeah, this month alone, I've seen 24 films
in a month.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. And that's, yeah.
I think I've watched 4.5 films. That's not including kids' films that I have no choice and just have to sit and watch.
This year, I've watched 388.
Bloody hell. Since January?
Since January.
Yeah. That's very good.
And I'm only...
It's quite a few double bills. Or more.
More.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely easily one a day. And then maybe 1.5. I'd say 1.5 on aggregate, as it were.
Yeah.
But I watch minimum a film every day, but I try and get 2 films every day because I haven't got kids and I like to live my life. So I watched the original Speak No Evil.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
That was good. That was good. I liked the McAvoy remake.
I've not seen it. Yeah.
Have you seen the original?
I have.
Have you seen The Vanishing?
Spoilers, yes, I have.
Have you seen the Jeff Bridges Vanishing? Same
shot for shot.
No.
Right.
The original Vanishing, very dark and miserable.
Yeah.
The Jeff Bridges one, happy ending.
Well,
Speak No Evil, I think. The McAvoy one, if I remember correctly, had a happy ending, whereas the original, obviously not.
Brutal. Yeah.
Miserably bleak. The Long Walk, the new
With
Stephen
Hamill?
King book. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good. It was good fun.
Okay.
I liked that.
I listened to Mark Maron's interview with Hamill.
Oh, nice.
a
I
while
haven't
back.
watched that yet.
The,
We'll listen to
the
that,
What the Fuck. I think it was one of his last towards the end.
Yeah.
I don't mean Mark Hamill's died. I mean, obviously, he stopped doing WTF now.
Yeah.
But it was very good. He was big enough. You could tell it was like a bit of a vehicle for
Promotional,
Hamill.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it was nice to hear him talk about it and stuff. So, yeah. Okay, that's good to hear. The Long Walk. Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah.
The Titfield Thunderbolt,
Don't know it.
1953, Ealing Studios.
Okay, right.
About
Yeah.
a small train service gets shut down, so that the villagers decide to run it privately, and
Right.
you know
Who's in that then?
no one, no one like we would know nowadays.
No Alec Guinness or anyone like
No,
that?
no.
Yeah.
Stanley Holloway, George Relf,
Mm-hmm.
Newton Wayne,
Mm-hmm.
John Gregson. There are women in this.
Any sort of like standout films you've seen that've been really impressive?
Robotrix or
Okay.
Robotrix.
Right.
Right. So the two films that I have absolutely adored recently, or three films, one battle after another, talking about modern film.
Mm-hmm.
That film was spectacular in my opinion. Absolutely excellent. Hell Comes to Frogtown, the Rowdy Roddy Piper film from the 80s, was brilliant. It was genuinely excellent. Had a real Mad Max They Live kind of vibe. And then Robotrix, which is a Cat 3 Hong Kong film, which is chef's kiss.
Cool.
It was so good.
You've not seen it before?
No, I've never seen it
Right.
before.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen it?
No, not heard of it. Yeah.
From the heady days of early 90s Hong Kong exploitation cinema comes Robotrix, a high-octane, fast and furious sci-fi romp packed with glorious action sequences and bonkers plot lines. When evil inventor Samamoto transfers his mind into that of a powerful cyborg, he becomes a murdering rapist. When one of his characters, police officer Selena Lamb, becomes a super robot, Eve 27, she teams up with android sidekick Anne, and together they seek to bring the criminally insane scientist to justice. Like a crazy mix of Terminator, Power Rangers, and of course, RoboCop, Robotrix combines a mad doctor movie with extreme martial arts to deliver a sexy, seductive, bionic tale of lust, violence, given a uniquely Asian futuristic spin.
My word.
It were perfect. It was so good. And yeah, I think I can already tell, because I've bought quite a few recently, but Hong Kong Cat 3 films are going to be my next deep dive.
Cool.
But there's something about a Hong Kong Cat 3
Move
film.
over, Clint.
I can't make any joke. Like the Cat
Too
3
late at
films are so ridiculous. I was talking to my mate Rob over at Caliber 9, and he's like, the word that describes them is id. Like, they're so, like, they're just absolute bonkers fantasy of, like, someone's gone, robots? Yeah. Sexy ladies? What about these sexy ladies? Do they take their tops off? Of course they take their tops off. What about these guys? Yeah, they got the hard bods and they get their tops off too. Okay. Guns and martial arts. And martial arts. What else are you going to tell me? Cyborgs. Okay. And like, it's just whatever bonkers you can think of.
Yeah.
They've put a wonderfully fun story and it's people having fun.
Yeah.
And I think films nowadays are so preoccupied with being real.
Yeah.
That it's such a refreshing thing that, like, I believe whatever nonsense you're telling me in these films.
There's no hang-ups.
There's no hang-ups. It's movie cop logic, not cop logic.
Got you.
So people can be, useless in their job because it's funny or because it works for, like, of course he didn't realise that because he's a moron.
Yeah.
Whereas if you were to put it in like a modern day film, it just wouldn't work because everyone would be trying too seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
So in that regards, those films are really good. But yeah, that's kind of been what I've been watching recently.
And you also saw Oddity, you said as well. You mentioned
Oddity,
before.
Caveat.
Yeah.
I watched those recently.
See, they're films that are kind of like, you either go with them or you don't.
Yeah, yeah. 100%.
Like, I mean, they could sound preposterous on paper, but when you watch them, you're like, there's such a joy to the way they've been put together, and there's such a kind of like, you just go with it. It's like watching an Amicus portmanteau,
yes,
or something. It's a very hermetically sealed, like it's within the confines of that world, nothing else.
Yeah,
and you either go with it or you don't. If you don't want to, fine, but you're not going to enjoy it.
Yeah,
so
enjoy it. Just go along with it.
Go with it.
And I think this is a lot
very
about
skillful,
sort of like the one location.
Yes,
and I know that's a limitation that Damien McCarthy, had. You got to.
Well, he imposed that on himself, though, didn't he, as well?
But that's such a good thing. It is, like, because he mentioned it in that podcast, didn't he? That if you impose one of these limitations on yourself, you have to work harder around it. If you're given free reign, fucking hell, that's hard.
Well, yeah, it's too kind of. It's like we were talking earlier about a deadline from an important outside source is much more of value than your own deadline.
Oh, you got to do it by Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
Or what, dickhead?
Yeah, what? Yeah.
You're still not making money.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is very good that like Odyssey is that sort of. It's not one location, but it's limited locations.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
And
it could be a two-hander. Well, not two. It could be a play. It could be
yes.
a play. Yeah. So, yeah.
And watching
caveat,
those
definitely
caveat. Watching films like that, and I watched a film called Night Watch today from the 90s with Jamie Lannister. What's his name? From the 90s, and half of it was really good. And when I say half of it, I don't mean like part A or part B. There's a story that takes place as he is the night watch security guard for a morgue.
Right.
And then the other part is a murder mystery, which I don't think works.
Right.
But that idea of like, in fact, I had to make a note of it while I was watching it, that it was like, oh yeah, you could just have a bit like Dark Matter and A Woman on Polar Night.
Got you.
Just that someone sat looking through a window and then making notes, then looking through the window, and their own paranoia creeping up, and their own, like, when they look down, do we see something?
A doubt, yeah.
Do we just see the wind?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Like The Innocents, something like that, like Jack Clayton. Yeah.
And I think something like that would be a really fun thing if, for us, we could make that. We could make something that's very, a nice little, like, a security guard sat looking through the window, and when he looks down at shadow.
Yeah.
Something simple. Or when he looks in the glass, he sees his own reflection, and then maybe just someone else's just gets in and then comes out. So, what's going on?
Never quite sort of solid.
I think it's it's that. And whenever I watch a film, if it, stirs any emotion in me, I think it's done the right job. But when it stirs up something creative, like Blue Ruin, where I'm just like, that's you. I can make that. That's one guy in a car.
Yeah,
like fucking done.
Yeah,
you just think, go on then. I should crack on.
Yeah,
I should crack on.
Yeah, it's very inviting, isn't it? It's very, because there are films that make you think, well, I could have done that better in a way. But then there are other ones that are just like, I'm so excited by this. I want to make my own film. Like I want to. Which
I think is a nicer place to be when it comes to watching, like when you watch a film.
I think so. Yeah.
Because then you're being influenced, and you're like, ooh, go on. And Hell Comes to Frogtown is another one that made me feel like that.
Okay.
Because it made me go like, oh, I'd love to do a little apocalyptic thing about frogmen and someone kicking ass. Yeah. And I met I met a guy last year called Matt Barrett.
Yeah.
And he does really beautiful work in sort of special effects and creature design, and he had done this weird like lizard creature for a film of his, and I thought like, well, there it is. That's like, he would do my, that's who I would get to do my fucking like Frogtown makeup.
Yeah. And
in my head I was like, well, I've got the guy who's going to do my Frogtown makeup.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
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 Not writing the cunt. But
absolutely not.
That's a piece of piss. So yeah, I just thought like it'd be a really fun thing to make, and I thought because it'd be a really fun thing to make, it got me excited again.
Yeah.
And I was over at I was over at Sam's house. He had bought it on Blu-ray, blind buy. Said, "Do you fancy it?" And I was like, "Yeah, just give it a go." Watched it. We both loved it, and I was like, "I want to make a sequel to that."
Yeah.
And then he and I had a little chat, little brainstorming session. I don't know if you can still say that. A little brainstorming fest, and then got him to like write all his notes down. Got all my notes. Then didn't write anything for a few days because I've been ill. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to get back on it this week.
Yeah. But the juices are still there.
Yeah. So like that. It's when a film makes you want to make something. That's always a nice one.
Oh, very much so. Yeah. I find that like a kind of for read a story or read a book, and I come away thinking like, there's a nugget in there that I'd like to expand on or inspire. I feel inspired by it. I think it's normal as well. Like, it's nothing... When it comes to creativity and making a thing, like a coherent narrative thing, nothing happens in a vacuum.
No.
Like it can be like, so it's...
How I used to do writing, I don't do it anymore, is I would have an idea and then I would watch everything that was slightly related to it. Or if I wanted to write a strong female character, I would watch every film which had what I considered a strong female character in it, and then I would watch it all, and then not think about it.
Okay.
And just let it just tick over in the back of my mind.
Yeah, okay.
And then I would go out and be like, got the story, and then I'd write it down.
Right.
And it was good, but I don't think it works, like, long term.
Okay.
So now, it's very much get an idea, write it down, and then talk about it. Whether it's talking about it with people or just leaving myself voice notes and then having to listen back to it.
Yeah.
Just letting an idea sort of slowly brew based on it. I've got enough, I think, in the old fucking brain box.
Yep.
That a story can get from A to B pretty quickly. It's just the other letters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's it.
So
just the other 29 letters.
And all the other characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mario.
Yeah.
Waluigi.
Yeah. Don Corleone.
There are others.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not here to name them all. All right. Fucking hell.
Marty McFly.
It's nearly Christmas.
Yeah.
Lon Chaney. Dick Cheney.
Who is a character in Vice.
But yeah, so it's fun. I still watch a lot of films. I think last year was a good year for films. I think I watched over 600.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I did go to 10 film festivals.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
And this year I judged one. So
nice.
That was I watched a lot of short films there. But yeah, I do watch a lot of films still. Mm-hmm. I joked about it earlier, but not having kids has been a choice because of things like I really value being able to sit and watch 2 or 3 films a day, and it's just something that I need to do. Gone are the heady days where I was able to watch 5 a day, though.
I mean,
that was when I was at uni.
Yeah,
I'd get up early, watch a film, go to uni, have the lecturer watch a film, come back from uni, watch 3 films.
Well, I mean, that's the place to do it, though, isn't it? Like, you're sort of you're immersed in it. You've got to have it on your mind. You've got to learn stuff. So that's good.
And I still learn. I still pick up academic film books, or I'll trawl lists of films that were they're no longer available on Blu-ray, so they're essentially forgotten.
Yeah. And
then you're like, right, so the last time they were available was on VHS. Why? Oh, because the rights can never get moved. So it's not a problem with the film. It's just that the rights never got moved, so you can't buy it anymore. Well, then I'll try and find a copy of it. I'll go buy an old VHS of it if I can.
Yeah.
And then watch it.
Nice.
Usually a pile of dog shit. But
you did it.
But I did it.
Yeah. Exactly.
But it's that, it's the learning from it, reading film language, reading film, trying to understand it, going to lectures, going to fucking talks, going to all these things, and just immersing yourself. I think, it's the thing you love.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you immerse yourself? You go to gigs.
Mm.
Why wouldn't you go to the cinema on your own? Like,
Oh yeah, I love going to cinema on my own.
cinema on your own.
Mm.
Not
Mm.
not feeling bad if it's not a good film.
This is it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but having even, it's just nice just to go out and go to cinema and just still, I still feel it now. Like it's kind of, cinema's not the same. It does feel like it's somewhat of a dying industry in a way. Like,
I'm really worried. I think
Yeah.
in 20 years there will be boutique cinemas,
yeah,
and that's it.
and that's it. Yeah. I mean, it'd be, who knows what's going to happen.
Which, as a filmmaker, that really worries me because my goal, my metric for success, is to have a general release film one day.
Sure.
And I don't think that's going to be an option.
Well, maybe not in the form it's traditionally seen as.
No.
It could be
Like,
something different. So.
General release now would be like if you get it on fucking Netflix. That's probably better. But
or
Amazon. There are others. But I wonder if it's because we worked at the cinema. I very much feel like I would like to think that someone has to program my film into a screen one day.
I know what you mean.
It's like with books.
Yeah.
It'd be really nice. Your books are available in bookshops, but in specific sections.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas it'd be really nice if yours was on the buy one get one half price table.
Exactly.
I
know I'd have made it as normal for when there are so many second-hand copies of my paperbacks out there that Oxfam Books refuse to take any more copies. Then I know I've made it. There's just too much of me in the world.
If I go to a second-hand DVD shop and they go, please, Ted, the unsigned ones get more money.
Or mine get pulped and used as landfill for a new sort of lane of the M25, then I'll know I've made it. So,
I think more valuable.
Exactly. We give them more to society, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
And permanent.
That's true. Your
unless
books.
Subsidence, in which case. Hopefully I'll
more
be dead
books.
by then. Yeah. Then more books. There we go. Yeah.
Just the other 20,000 that didn't get sold.
Exactly. There we go. Yeah. There'll be a certain dignity in it.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Exactly. Well, do you want to do the roundup or should I?
I'll round it up.
Go on then.
Right. Well,
see if I care.
Well, thank you very much, Ted, for coming to your own podcast to talk about you using the questions and the prompts that you wrote through the conduit of me.
I really respect that you read that script that I wrote for you verbatim.
Yeah.
No, I didn't put yet in there, so don't ad-lib now.
Oh shit! Sorry, I've gone off piste. It's late at night. I'm tired. I don't feel well.
That's fair. We're nearly 50, Lynn.
Yeah.
No, it's been lovely. It's
been emotional
for you. I wouldn't want to talk this much about me ever again.
That's fine. You've done well.
I don't care for it.
Yeah.
Even though, as I do say to my therapist every time I see him, for a man who likes to think of himself as quite selfless, I don't have to talk about myself a lot.
Yeah.
And when I say that to my therapist, I think he's like, ugh.
Well, look, this is your Christmas present to yourself to do this one. So Merry Christmas. Just enjoy it. And then get back to business as usual for the next one.
I don't celebrate Christmas, so thank you.
Yeah, it's fine. Take this off and either way.
Oh. No, keep it on. This has been a Lovable Rogue Productions podcast. Thank you to everyone that listened. If you want to help out your life in film, then download it, like it, share it, and give the pod a follow. I didn't realise till starting this that a download is the way they measure success and not just a listen. So, listening means nothing. Make sure you check out my guests on their socials, which will be in the description of the episode. Take a look at my letterboxd. I've made a list of all the films that have been mentioned on the pod. There's fucking hundreds. So you can find some good films there. There are some good ones. There's some fucking weird ones, and I love them. Quick shout out to some of the podcasts I'm listening to. Caliber 9 from Outer Space. That's Robin Joe's. That's really good. And then The Villain Was Right. That's a great fun. Check that out. If you really want to be a mensch, give me that money. There's a link in the description. It'll explain it all. But a download and a share is excellent, and I actually appreciate that a lot more than you'd think. We currently have no sponsors, but I am open to them. I'll shill anything. I don't care. This has been a Lovable Rogue production. Thank you for listening.